Vendor items. Let's start by entering an item which is already part of your inventory. Be sure to provide all the information requested of you by the system. You can categorize your items into classes either by name or number. Use the one which you will most easily identify within your inventory. An item could be a sub-item of another which you can classify or categorize when you're entering it into the system. To better explain what is a sub-item, let's suppose that you had a pair of pants to which you wanted to add a belt. The belt would then become a sub-item to the pants. If the item will be stocked at only one location, you will need to enter it into the system. If you will carry this item in various locations, you can leave this section blank. In the description of an item, you can use the purchase order and the sales order description as one and the same. Or you can utilize a different description for each, so that the individual description of each will appear on the prospective forms. You can enter the cost of the item, and when you're generating your purchase order, the cost of the item will appear automatically on your purchase order. Klix is so intelligent that it can calculate an average cost of your purchase orders and give you an overall average of your purchases so that you will always have the most current price. An item can be purchased from any vendor you desire, or you can choose a specific vendor. Although you can always modify and make your purchases from another vendor, the vendor you select will be the one that will appear on your purchase orders. Although, as previously mentioned, you can change and use any vendor you wish anytime. The account for items to be sold is where you will keep track of the cost of all the items that you purchase for resale. Generally, businesses have only one account to keep track of all the purchases made for resale. This way, within your account, it will appear only one line for your inventory, which will help you to have better control of your inventory within your accounting. In other words, purchases made for resale will fall within one account. From here, you will select the account that you wish to utilize while simultaneously deducting from your inventory account the cost of the items sold. If you will be utilizing more than one account for your purchases, it is highly recommended that you first consult it with your accountant or configure it to your personal preference. From this page, you can also enter the regular price or a sales price. Keep in mind, the price can be modified anytime you wish. If you are going to utilize only one price, this will be the price that the system will recognize and use whenever you generate an invoice, an estimate, or a sales order. If you use several different automatic price lists within the system, Klix will establish it as a base price and utilize it to make increases or reductions in prices based on percentage or a dollar amount. From within the company module, list of prices, you will have the ability to establish several different price lists for different customers, so that Klix will automatically do all the work for you. You also can enter the amount of tax that will be applied to all your items, and if all your items will be taxed the same amount, then Klix will allow you to enter that amount into the system, and it will automatically charge this tax every time you bill a customer. It's important to understand that all the items you enter into the system will generate a position within your accounting, which will allow you to generate reports that will tell you exactly how much you've made and how much you've lost with each transaction, each item, or applied to all the applications. Generally, businesses classify their sales into various accounts, only if and when it's an income account. In other words, all the sales you make are a form of income. You can enter into the system an account that you will call sales, which you will classify as income. This way, all the sales that you make of a particular item will generate an accumulable position within that particular account. As I just stated, you can classify your items into various accounts. Let's suppose that you sold bicycles and bicycle parts. You can establish an income account to enter all the sales for your bicycles, and then another account where you can enter all the sales of your parts. This will allow you to know from within your accounting exactly how much you sold in parts and how much you sold in actual bicycles, as well as a profit and loss for each item. All the items within your business will go to the account of circulating assets. This is why it's recommended that you use only the account that has been set as default within the system as your account of assets. A circulating asset is merchandise that enters and exits your business that is included in your accounting reports, so it's necessary to know the amount of circulating assets that your business owns. This account is different than the account of items to be sold, which was earlier explained. Once again, we recommend that you utilize the account that has been predetermined within the system so as not to have any confusion within your accounting. From this same page, you can select locations. That is, if you have several locations, you can select which locations you desire to carry a particular item, as well as predetermine what will be the minimum inventory of a particular item for each location. This way, Klix can do all the work for you by automatically generating purchase orders to your vendors for each location based on the minimum that you entered into the system. If you have only one location, we recommend that you select that location, then enter the minimum for each item. If you prefer not to use minimums or points of reorder of this item or any item, simply leave it in 0. This way, if you desire to do so, you can enter it manually. If you do have more locations and you want to add more lines to classify each location and the inventory minimum of each item for each location. You also have the option of not using minimums or points of reorder, simply leaving 0. If you have actual inventory of the item, you can enter it into the system as the initial inventory as well as the date that you entered the information, so that as of that date, Klix will commence applying it to your accounting.